I think one of the good example about thinking about your question is comparing the situation after World War II between the Germany and Japan. Both of those nations were defeated, and also we were forced to change everything, many things after the World War II by the Allies. But in the case of Germany, they themselves established that changed their own constitution. On the other hand, Japan was forced to completely change our own the constitution, but not only the constitution, but also the economics or governmental system, economics, education, industry, and also the military. In any aspect, we were forced to change by the United States. But in the case of Germany, soon after the end of the World War II, they could get back their own, I can say, kind of a sovereignty, and they get back their own dignities. So that the one of the big difference between those two nations is the one side, the Germany didn't have like a occupation period after the World War II, but we, Japan, have 7 years of occupation period by the United States. So as a result of that, that 7 years changed everything, and also that finally changed our mindset itself. So that if we I compare the mindset between those two nations, German people still can keep their own very proactive mindset about their future of their nations, while we Japanese people are forced to abandon everything about those things. But just you obey the order, or obeying the order of the United States or whatever, such kind of mindset remained. So that your question is why we or Japanese government's attitudes are weak against other nations. Was because we changed, and the Japanese government, who is the Japanese government? So those are also one of the ordinary group of the ordinary Japanese government, and they are also the people who are the children of the people who were, brainwashed people. So that's why. So we, even if we know the fact what happened during the World War II, but we cannot behave proactively.
By the way, my question is, Hitler invaded Europe, right? Is the same situation Japan did?
Yeah, what I can.
No, not you. It's Sonoda.
To my question.
Yes, it's Sonoda, not Takashi. Sonoda. Okay, again, Germany invaded Europe, okay, Hitler. But Japan did the same way?
I don't think so.
So what's the difference?
Well, I think one of the big difference between Hitler and Japan.
You need to explain her, okay? She never knows that.
Was I think there's a very, very fundamental difference between the two. So in the case of Hitler, they tried to just occupy and invade and try to make their other nations' territory and the people as a part of their nations. But on the other hand, in the case of Japan, apparently what we did was very similar to them. But what we did after that was totally different. So if I give you the example in the Chosen and also Taiwan, or even other Asian nations, we used so many the budget and the people, and we tried to develop their nation by themselves. That is the huge difference. So as a result of that, in Taiwan, yes, one of the good example is developing of the rice field and also dam by the Hatta Yoichi. Hatta Yoichi's effort to make a huge the dam.
She cannot understand.
Hatta Yoichi. So now Taiwan is one of the big producer of the rice. But before the World War II, they were suffered even for the food, because there's not enough good rice field or farm. So after we started the governing in 1895, so we sent so many peoples, but one of them, the name was Hatta Yoichi. He was the engineer, and he tried to make a huge dam, to preserve the water for the farming. So that he developed a huge dam with latest advanced cutting-edge technologies at that moment, and as a result of that, he could.
You want to say no invasion?
No invasion.
China?
So if our activity was
China?
invasion, China,
Mm.
China, the situation in China is a slight bit different.
I'm talking about
China.
Great Asian War.
Great Asian War.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that could be the much bigger difference between Japan and Germany.
Hmm.
I mean, that is the way of explaining what happened, the way of explaining what we are doing, what we are thinking at this moment. Then in Germany, I don't have 100% understanding of their history, but my understanding is that it's saying, or the Germany acknowledged their wrongdoing in the wartime, whereas there must be someone who benefited from that invasion and what Germany at the time did in the Europe. But basically they're saying they're doing wrongdoing, they did wrongdoing. But if we would say we may have done something wrong in the eyes of the other side, but on the other side of our viewpoint, we would say we're doing something good for the people in Asian countries. I think that the point is what we have been doing, what the Germany have been doing based on the understanding of what happened, and to take the next step for doing what we want to do. For example, getting the dignity back and taking some respect back on our country.
So Japan, what do you say? Japan did what? Good point.
Yes,
Okay, whereas Japan did wrongdoing, whereas Japan did good point. So what do you want to say?